Hey everyone, who's ready for Cheese Friday? Everyone, welcome to the Radical Geek YouTube channel. It is Cheese Friday, and today we're going to do a little something different. I know we normally review a cheese and I give you a little cheese education, but since a lot of us are keto here, and if you're not keto, you still go to parties, and one of the most awesome things at parties is the cheese ball. It sounds really vintage and disgusting, except for it's really delicious, and we can kind of modernize it, and in which case, all of the things I'm going to do today may be a little bit much if you are needing to be very strict keto, but if you're in a maintenance sort of stage like myself, you should know this will be a great addition. Plus, you're not going to sit down and demolish like the entire cheese ball by yourself. So, and it's a great dish to share with other people. So I thought, it's cheese and it's Friday, so why not? So also, though, my yellow cheese is having some weirdo green screen effect, and no matter what I do, I can't seem to adjust it. We've had yellow cheese before without this problem, so obviously some weird lighting thing going on. I see that I have weird lighting things going on, but we're just going to run with it anyways. So I assure you, my cheese is not weird and green or full of weird mold or anything like that. It's actually yellow cheese, but check it out. You kind of got like the whole... Look, you can get the cheese from the background going straight through me, and there you go. One day I'll learn more about videos and we'll not have that issue, but today it is what it is. I'm even getting my weird blue eye, which I like because it makes me feel like an evil android. So, cheese balls are like stupid easy. So, I thought we would share that. I've got 2 bricks of cream cheese, and I'm going to tell you, buy the name brand. I know that it seems silly because sometimes it can be more expensive, but the ingredients, while still not perfect, are actually pretty good. It's pasteurized milk and cream, salt, carabine gum, and cheese culture. So it doesn't have any extra carrageenan or some additional gums. And so they've reduced the carbohydrate on it to less than 1. And if you'll notice, there's a lot more gums added into the generic brands. And that's why that they often have either 1 whole carb per serving or 2. A lot of them have 2. And really, it's just the additives. And at the end of the day, it's really not a huge deal, but it's enough that I also find the taste and texture is better, especially in something like a cheese ball that you're going to share with a lot of people. You want the best, right? So a lot of times generic is actually often better than name brand. And this is one of those times when name brand makes a difference and it's the better choice. It's softened. I left this sitting out on the counter overnight, so it'll be easy for us to mix. I'll just grab the little bit off of the wrapper because, you know, that's the thing to do. Into the refuse. And I'm actually going to make a very fancy-ish sort of cheese ball. Well, 2 actually, because I think I'm going to divide it in 2. And you'll be surprised how easy this is. There's my 2 bricks of soft cream cheese. Now, what I'm going to add to it is I have half a teaspoon of hot sauce. And I just used a very generic red sauce. I don't want to make it too spicy because I'm taking it to a party. If it were just for here at the house, I would use the Evil Ooze from Highline. And you can get a discount code for them off of the Hungry Heat channel. Check it out. I guess it must be the yellow because look at my spatula. Anyways, a half a teaspoon of that, a half a teaspoon of lime juice, and a half a teaspoon of coconut aminos. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it makes it taste good. You dump that in. Ew, not very attractive. But again, it will taste good and it will look better too shortly. Yeah, sort of. Then I have a half a teaspoon of cumin powdered, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and half a teaspoon of Redmond salt, and half a teaspoon of black pepper, finely ground. And that goes right in there. Oh, and a tablespoon of dried chives. I like fresh chives better, but I'm out and spring is coming, so I'll have fresh ones again soon. So we're stuck with the dried ones for today. Then I have a package of bacon, cooked, crumbled, and cooled. And you can use any bacon you want. Use your regular thin slice though. Don't get the thick kind because it's too, it doesn't get that right. It's either, if you cook it to extra crispy, then it's going to be too hard in your cheese ball. And if you cook it too soft, then it's going to get like a fatty sort of unpleasant texture. So your regular thin bacon, so that you get your nice little crumbles. It's fine too to even use the kind that comes in the bag as long as it's the one that's all bacon and not fake bacon. You need real bacon because that's what tastes good. I've got a full package. I noticed that I've seen recipes like this before and they're like 5 slices of bacon. That is not enough bacon. That is not enough bacon. At least not for my standards. And I think a lot of people really like bacon flavor. So, and if not, well, sorry, too late now because I poured it in. But, so it does take a little bit of effort because my cream cheese, despite my saying that I left it out, I'm unwilling to pay even higher heat bills right now. And it's stupid cold in the house, which is kind of making me a little bit crazy, but it'll soften up and we'll get in here with our hands in a minute. Anyways, but I want to start gathering up some of that seasoning and things that we poured in there. You just kind of mush it around and fold it so that some of the things start getting incorporated. But we still have more to add. It smells good already, which is a nice sign. And I just like mushing it around to get it to get the incorporation started, because the more you work it, the better the actual cheese ball is. And some recipes will tell you to add sour cream or mayonnaise, and that's fine. But remember I said I was making a special cheese ball? I definitely am. And so I'm going to add a bunch of moisture to it right now. And that is with a half cup of green chilies. These are I cheated. I didn't even get my own from the summer that were roasted out of the freezer. I got the big jar of it at Costco. It's the Hatch New Mexico green chilies. They're fantastic. And it's every so often you get to cheat. It's delicious. It's actually really just as good as the homemade canned ones. So I have no qualms about it. The ingredients are spectacular. It's actually not that expensive to buy, and so go for it. Get it. And I'm dumping that right in. Told you, not your traditional cheese ball. This is plus ultra. That in. And you just toss that in just a little bit. And so, as I said, it will definitely, it doesn't need sour cream because I'm already adding something pretty liquidy. And it does get a little messy while you're mixing. That's what mixing is all about, right? Oh, the green chili smells so good. I love green chili. I don't know if it's because I grew up with it or what, but I just think it is one of my very favorite flavors. But, so from 2 bricks of cheese, I'm now getting more of that dip sort of texture. But now I'm about to solidify it all back up, because what I have here, my napkin, is about 1 3/4 cups of shredded cheese. It's extra sharp cheddar. It's the yellow kind. I like the yellow kind in cheese ball because I think it looks nice. It doesn't add any extra flavor. In fact, probably if I were to splurge on the Tillamook or the Tillamook or the Cabot, See, I almost said it wrong again, but I remembered because one of you taught me the correct way to say it. I just think the yellow cheese adds something. It's softer because it's had the food coloring into it, and so it makes it a little bit more pliable and less stiff. So, plus there's the added bonus of when you shred it in your food processor, someone in the house gets the bonus little extra soft cheese ball from the top that doesn't actually grate in. But you just throw that cheese. Boy, I probably should have got a bigger bowl, and I did not. Uh-oh. This will make mixing more exciting. Maybe we'll have to take a pause and get a bigger bowl. Maybe. We'll see. Now we're going to spill it on the tablecloth, grab those 2 stray pieces. I'm going to put gloves on so that my hands are not going to get too messy. And it's almost time for using our hands anyway. Dun, da, da. You learn how to put gloves on from watching them murder shows on TV. So, but yeah, so now we're just going to continue combining this, and I'm going to bemoan the fact that I didn't get the big bowl, but my big bowl's not see-through. But you just kind of give it a good mush. You want everything to mush together so that you can form it into a ball. Rub off the spatula on the edges so I can grab this loose cheese here. And once you start getting the shreds mixed in, it starts to come together, and it makes it a little bit easier to start mixing it around without throwing things everywhere. Like those. Isn't this great? So you can now from here, once you get it all mixed in, which will take me a little bit more stirring, then we'll start with the making of the ball. You can make this one giant cheese ball, which is what we do a lot of times. But since I am taking this to a party, instead of one giant cheese ball, I'm making 2 so that I can keep one plain just like it is right now. Well, rolled into a ball, obviously. And then the other one, we're going to roll in the pecans. So, I hope that you all are having a fantastic Friday. I don't know what was with me, but like that last meeting of the day was just like a supreme irritation, and I was just absolutely done. And then I know I wasn't the only one, but I have to chuckle because one of my coworkers just suddenly, it was like a prime irritation moment for me, and I was fit to be tied. And then my coworker types into the chat of the MS Teams and says like, "Oh, whoops, I'm double booked. I have to go," and logs out. And I was like, that was real smart. And now I'm stuck here because I can't say the same thing and tag out. But I did turn off my camera and kind of eat my primary meal, which I thought was maybe smart. That could have been contributing to my grumpiness. Not 100% because it was actually quite irritating. But you know what I mean. These things happen. And I think you can see it's not really that hard to mix. I mean, it's not stirring a bowl of sour cream, of course, but it's definitely all combining. And I definitely should have used the larger bowl. And what you want to just make sure is that all of the parts have been incorporated and you don't have like any globs of unseasoned cream cheese or a little pile of chilies or something somewhere. So you want to make sure you're giving it a good roll, pat it out. And that's why the gloves come in handy, because if I get dirty, it's not a big deal. But, a couple more. So, there we go. It's looking good. Now here is like the best part. And we're going to hope that it's right because I didn't bring extra supplies down, but I brought my tester celery. You can test with a pork rind or whatever you want. I like celery because it's really neutral. Yes, I peeled all the little strings off. I don't like that either, but it's a really good neutral device for testing. So you want to take it, and that's where you're going to test it for seasoning. Make sure that it tastes like it's properly incorporated and that all the flavors are going to mellow overnight and meld together nicely. Yep. Just right. And it's just like, it's a different flavor from your regular cheese ball with the green chilies and the bacon. I mean, I almost always put bacon and cheddar, but the cumin and the hot sauce and the green chilies just take it in a completely different direction than your average cheese ball. And let's face it, why would you want to go to a party and be average, right? So here's where my decision has to be made right now. I can do one of two things: one giant cheese ball or two reasonable cheese balls. And before I get anything dirty, I'm going to start by getting my saran wrap. Finish cleaning up my table here. Let's do two. So we'll do one. There you go. I'm going to just fold it up here. And this also gives you the chance to make sure one last time that you're satisfied that you got everything mixed together. And I do. So I'm going to give this a nice little form. Let it form it up here nicely. And this is just, unfortunately, we have to do a little bit extra with the one we're going to roll in the pecans. But you can see now we've got this nice and formed together. We'll swap out the gloves. I know I'll go through a lot of gloves, but it's definitely better. It's nicer for food preparation so that when you take it, you can feel satisfied that nobody's gonna be exposed to, your bare hands. Not that that's a big deal, but in this day and age, that's definitely just like a better practice. So there's cheese ball one, and now it's all nice and flat on the bottom. And so it'll sit perfectly on the tray. I got a nice little tray here, so I'll be able to have this cheese ball and then the one covered in pecans. I'll put my celery over here. I've got some little teeny cucumbers that I'm going to slice in half and put them over here. And I even bought some of those almond crackers, which, I know I won't eat any of, but they're gluten-free. They're not the worst in carbohydrates, so if I did eat one or two, it's not the end of the world. But they're also something easily shareable with other people. Of course, this tray is not good if you have a nut allergy, but I did put that warning, and I've written a little paper with the ingredients on it to take and set with the tray, and make sure I can discard that phone call. I don't even look hardly anymore because, that it's spam. I don't know about you guys, but even with my call filtering, which I pay for, I still get a crap ton of spam calls. What about you? So, okay, but anyway, so what's going to happen next is this is going to go in the fridge overnight, and so it'll re-harden that cream cheese, and the cheddar that's all mixed in there will firm up a little more. It'll bring the chilies together. All of the flavors will meld, and it'll highlight the bacon a little bit. If you want to kick it up one more notch for half of the salt that you put in there, substitute half of that Redmond smoked salt. The cherry would be amazing with the green chilies. The hickory would be good too, but I'm probably biased because the cherry is my favorite. So, and I know I've got a lot of pecans in this bowl. And I sort of hate to use all of them and discard, but that's what I'm going to do because it's all right. I'll make an extra cheese ball and for the rest of the family so that they don't have to hear about the deliciousness that's going to never be for people at home. And that'll pretty much use it up. So I take this last bit of cheese ball, and this one I've got to do a little more scraping to make sure that I get all of the extras from the bowl. Probably I should have pulled the saran wrap first, but we'll make it awkward because that's the best way. Move this cheese ball off to the side. Stretch us out some saran wrap. Easy peasy, problem solved. All right, so with this cheese ball, we're going to give it a nice shape. It's smaller than the other one, but that's good because it's the one that's going to get a nut coating. And you know how fast nuts add up for carbs, but they do taste good. So for a party that you're taking it to, don't your friends deserve some extra splurging? If it's all keto people, these are not keto. I'm the only one who's going to be keto there, so they can have some pecans, and it will just be so indulgent. Oops, threw some nuts on the table. I know I'm being quiet. That's not good on your YouTube, right? You should continue with your chitter chatter, but I don't know. I just got into a little groove there, rolling the pecans. But check out this thing of beauty. Harry and David, eat your heart out, right? I've rubbed that off a little bit. And whoops. Real smooth, right? So I don't recommend snapping it back at yourself and spraying little bits of pecans and cream cheese all over the place. That's not your standard practice. It just means you have extra cleanup to do. That's all right. We have to launder this for Sunday anyway, so what's life without a little chaos? But we just do the exact same thing we did. Roll this up and give it a good tight squeeze so that it gets a good nice shape to it, because it will go into the fridge and get nice and hardened up. So, and there you go, cheese ball. And just so you know, yes, cream cheese is a soft cheese. It does not have a strong smell, but the smell that it does have is a soft, fruity smell with a tart tanginess to your nasal system. And so that's what some people taste, that tanginess a little bit more than other people. So I think that goes along with like that super tasting category. So if you're sensitive to that, some cream cheeses will be maybe too tart for you, but I don't think it's really a lot, but it's a super soft cheese. And the sharp cheddar is a semi-hard cheese. That's why it had nice clean shreds to it. And even though it was soft from the yellow coloring added to it, it's a semi-hard cheese. You can slice it. It can, all of that stuff that goes along with the semi-hard cheeses. It had a very nutty, for lack of better words, a cheesy smell to it. Very traditional. So there you go, cheese balls. Happy Cheese Friday. We're doing a lot of things with balls lately. I'll see you on Sunday for our live stream. We'll be doing the percolator and a ketofied version of Cowboy Kent's Spam balls, air fried in the air fryer instead of deep fried outside. It's still a little too cold for the outside. Maybe we'll do them once more in the summertime when we can do that as well. That's everything. I hope that you are having a fantastic Friday. Enjoy your party cheese balls and see you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.